This is Season 2, Episode 17 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and we're celebrating our good Welsh Open results prehumously.
Yeah, because there's a small chance I will have actually uploaded this Friday morning, so haven't even played yet.
I'm sure we've done really well.
Yep, or will do well, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, let's jump into today's game. It's back to normal. And Sam and I are continuing our multi-faction practice. And this week I bought something else to test out some ships. So I bought my double-tapping bomber. And then for some fun, I bought Fen Rao and Sunfac. Sunfac's got Ensnare, Predator, and Targeting Computer. And Fen has got Fearless, Predator, Mando Optics, and Beskar. And then to round out, Jess Parver in the T70 with M9G8 and a jamming beam.
Nice.
Thinking, how do we make Fenrau how do we make Sunfac dangerous? You give him double rerolls, Predator and M9, or a reroll on the turret shot, because we all know he doesn't really want to take a target lock. So, yeah. What have you bought,
Whereas
Sam?
I have gone down a different route. Because I decided that I've had it with these flesh bags. I want my good old droids back. But how can I make droids interesting? And so I was scouring through the multi-faction, looking for things that could calculate. Because networks means that things that calculate work well in separatists regardless. And I remembered that the Resistance Y-Wings have that fun ability to do 2 actions a turn for no reason. And one of them is a calculate. And so I thought, okay, there's some 3-point Y-Wings. They're basically like the 3-point gunships. And then I can I'd have 8 points of stuff to add on. So I just went full droid. And so here we are. We've got Lega Fossang in the BTA NR2 Y-Wing with automated target priority, because we are droids, not people. Ion cannon turret and targeting computer. We've got Shaza with automated targeting priority with ion cannons, R4 astromech, and targeting computer, just for more and more calculates. We've got DGS 047 in the gunship with Kraken, so I can keep those calculates. DGS 286 in the gunship because he's 3 points, and he's got energy shells and seismic charges. And then I've got 2 rogue classes, and I went for IG 111 with proton cannons and shield upgrade because he's got 12 loadout, he's I1, he has a really annoying ability, and you just ram him in and fire things out the bullseye. Done and dusted. Then I brought IG 102 with synced laser cannons, engine upgrade, and electronic baffle, mainly because he's the most tanky outside of Dirge of the rogue classes. Because his ability is, while he defends, if the attacker's initiative is equal to or greater than yours, and these days that's everyone, you may change one blank result to a focus result. And with network calculations and Kraken, you tend to always have calculates, so it just makes him really, really durable. It's almost like having a reinforce. And yeah, I got a great big block of 6 calculating 7 health plus ships. Chew through me, boy.
I tried.
You did do a chunk of damage.
So we're playing Assault at the Satellite Array, which is quite interesting because you outnumber me on ships, but I've got a large base, so yeah, it could be interesting. Objectives. Actually, thank a little intro because I was first player for turn 0. So I set up standard range 2 in the center from the center objective. Keeping my options
and I basically
open.
copied you.
Yeah. And then I thought, well, if I put my objective on your side as close to the board edge as I can, you just put it there and create a clump. And I don't outjoust you. I don't want to head, even with the double tapping bomber and Fen. I don't think I outjoust you. So I stick it sort of in your back right or back left as you're looking at it corner to try and create a gap.
And then I think, okay, I could basically create a square on the left-hand side and say, okay, we're fighting on this side. But again, I wasn't actually sure I wanted you to be opposite me. Because whilst you may not think you win the joust, I was thinking, I reckon Fen and Sunfac kill a ship, and I'm not sure I kill one in return.
I think that
Because,
depends on if Sunfac doesn't get blocked or not.
yeah. Because, like, whilst, automated target priority, lol, 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 calculate droids, it can hurt if I want to shoot someone and I can't.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it doesn't actually ever come up. In fact, it just is a benefit, basically.
Yeah.
But no, in fact, it doesn't change anything. I never miss a shot with those two. I never get that calculate. It's insane. Double mods for the win. But yeah, so I just deploy it. I pitch it off at the far right hand side, as far away from all of the other objectives as I can, and as far up as I can, just to basically say, okay, well, if one of us randomly goes off in this corner, they can at least score something with like an injured ship or a extra, or at least it gives you a reason to deploy out in the corner.
Yeah.
And then I deploy my wands first. And so I put IG111 and DGS047. IG1 is in the lead, and I place them about. Wait, rocks. We skipped rocks because rocks matter.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, they're in a sort of trapezium around the center.
We basically place them on like imagine lines connecting all of the obstacles. We basically place them all on lines connecting the obstacles. Yeah. Essentially, I'm trying to stop a bomber from sitting there for free, and I'm guessing Sean is trying to stop a group of my guys from sitting there for free.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I need you to slightly break up your formation, ideally.
And I want that if your bomber's claiming 2 objectives, it needs to be sitting on a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. There's just a cluster blocking off all the lines in between the objectives. So then I place my wands, and I place them about a quarter of the way up my left-hand side. IG111 ahead and DGS047 behind, and basically they're aiming at the objective that Sean placed on my half of the board, and with the idea being that here is where my block is going to start. If you deploy opposite me, then we'll go.
Yeah. I don't. I set up Ben just to the left of the center objective and the rock. I'm going to stop turn 1, and then I'm going to see where you go, make a decision. I can hard 2 behind the rock if I need to. I can 1 straight, I can 1 bank. I have options. And I set Jess up just to the left of him because she needs to stay near him for his for her ability, because I'm pretty sure that she's not going to be following Sunfac and Fenrau around.
Yeah, I think that's good odds on that. So then my 3s go down, and I place both Y-Wings just to the left of DGS047 and IG111. I place Lager at the back because that way she has the most people possible that could be in her firing arc for her rerolls. And Shaza ahead because then if she gets shot, she can pass calculates and focuses back to people behind her. Simple as that. And they're going to basically fly as a block of 4, and we'll see what happens. And DGS286, I deploy him in my far left-hand corner as far up as I can, facing across my board edge. Because whilst my block goes forward, I kind of want him to go towards the middle and claim the objective that's near the middle of my board edge. Maybe sit there, and then, because I know this is going to end up in a great big clump in the middle, he's at least presenting a flank, and he does have a missile. Which, is relevant. Like, Sunfac does not want to eat an energy shell.
Yeah. Fenrau and Sunfac set up to the...
and I set up IG-102, basically the same space as DGS-286, except I put him a base forwards, so that way I have a bit more space to boost around and try and change my angle if I want to.
Yeah. I set up Sunfac and Fen, Sunfac behind Fen, just to the left of Jess, just the small other side of the small rock there. My thinking is I'm going to bomb down that side, see where you go with your ships, try and get a flank somewhere. In hindsight, I should have set them up a little closer to Jess and cut in through the middle.
Yeah.
Because it would take enough turns for you to get all your ships into the middle that either I can get there and go 1-on-1 with something, or I can get there with the rest of my ships as well.
Yeah.
And yeah. But there we go. And like, alright, the threes would be behind them, but Fen and Sunfac want to be at range 1, so
Yeah, so that's just fine.
that's fine. But I don't. Yeah.
So you want to flank.
I want to flank. But yeah. So, to the game.
Yeah, so pretty straightforward. Basically, my block of 1 to 3s, I win priority. They all do a 3 straight and calculate in various forms. The droids actually calculate, and the Y-wings target lock a rock and gain calculates. DGS 286 does a 3 straight and calculates, and IG 102 does a 4 straight and boosts to the left, pointing his turret towards the center, just trying to present a threat essentially.
Yeah. So I've done pretty much what I was going to do. A stop for the bomber, a 1 straight for Jess. A 2 straight for Jess to give her a bit of distance. And target lock Sunfac for the M9 rolls. Fen did a 5 straight and boost just to give him options to cut in. And Sunfac did a 5 straight and then just stayed where he was. And I should have tractored.
Yeah.
I should have tractored to the right to cut in. Because that and a 3 bank, and even if you try to swing everyone around the rock, I don't think you can get everyone around that rock.
No, I can't because the Y-wings the Y-wings and the IG and the Rogue are red 3 hard.
Yeah,
they're fake droids,
and I'm not sure 3 hard on the. Oh, no, that frisbee probably clears, but it's close. But yeah, my point being is I don't think you can get in there, and I could have cut Fen in through the gap.
Yeah.
That. Spoilers, I cut Sunfac through next turn, so. And I, if I can get those 2 range 1 of a single IG, I'll take that.
Yeah. Like, if you get those 2 range 1 of my ships, it's gonna die.
Yeah.
The Y-wings and the gunships won't have defense, and the IGs will be down to 1 defense. So maybe they can do it. I would give IG 102 chances at living because chances are his defense is an evade.
Yeah.
But that's he has a chance to live rather than he's dead.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so into the next round.
Yes. And basically, I commence Operation Get Around the Rock. My gunship does a 2 straight. And sorry, IG 101 does a. I believe that was
wasn't it?
A 2 bank calculate barrel roll to the right to clear the way for the Y-wings. My gunship, I1 gunship does a 2 straight, and I barrel roll to the left to clear the way for the Y-wings. The Y-wings both 3 bank, and then Shaza just does a regular boost forwards, and Lega does a boost to the right, I believe. And basically, I'm pointing my turrets vaguely in the direction of the center in the hopes that you'll just walk in towards me. DGS 286 does a 2 bank to the left and calculates, trying to get in range of the objective. And I believe my second IG does a 2 straight and just calculates.
Yeah. Before he does that, Jess closes her wings, does a 1 straight, because I thought I'd have to get out of the way, and I do. I barrel roll to the left, because Ben 1 banks away from your list. Because I didn't really want to engage this turn. And I know a 2 hard will swing me in.
Yeah.
What I think I should have done with Jess, though, I don't know if it clears, is the barrel roll the other way. That's tight.
It's tight.
But I'm pretty
sure.
Because
the problem is that Jess is going to end up behind Ben, really.
Like, I went backwards with her there, and I'm wondering if forwards was far enough. I mean, we'll never know, but. Yeah, I've barrel rolled to the left because I'll bring her in behind. Fen does another 5 straight to try and swing round, but I'm not sure that I'm out of range of 102's sync laser cannons. We all know what Fangs do at range 3. So I barrel roll to the left just to make sure. And Sunfac does a
3 straight.
3 straight. Because I was thinking about turning in the gap And actually, I think I should have just stayed with the 5 and swung him round that rock.
Yeah. Because if you do the 5, then Fen and Sunfac are coming in on that side, and then I've got to make some hard choices.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, I could swing my entire list that way, but then I'm abandoning the center objectives, and I'm just abandoning Jess and the bomber.
Yeah.
But where it is right now, I was pretty sure Sunfac was coming in.
Yeah. Ironically, I did consider 5 straighting this turn, but then I opted for the turn. I spent ages trying to work out whether to do the 2 hard or the 3 hard, because I had a sneaking suspicion. What?
I was thinking 3 hard all the way, because you either get range 1 of my ship, or if I've tried to block you, it's pretty hard for me to block you properly, and you can just slide past my IG and then kill the gunship.
And that's why I did end up with the 3. Because I thought the 2 gave me a better chance of lining up bullseyes. But I also thought that Lega just does a 3 straight boosts and probably gets the block on that. But, yeah. But into turn... whatever we're into next. 3.
Into turn 3. You have priority, which does sort of matter, because it means your 3s go first. But my 1s are always first. So IG 111 just does a 2 straight and calculates. And basically, I'm pointing my proton cannon where I'm pretty sure Ben is going to be.
Yeah. Ben swings the 2 hard and double focuses.
Yeah. DJ047 just 2 harded and calculated. He's just sat on his objective, projecting his Kraken aura.
And just as a 1 blank, unfortunately clips the back of the bomber and takes the damage.
Shaza does a 2 bank to the right, sliding past a rock near the middle, and I take a target lock onto Benteen and gain a calculate. Lega does a 1 straight, takes a target lock onto Benteen and calculates. DGS286 does a 1 straight and calculates, and IG102 does a 1 bank to the right and calculates, and I target lock Fen, and I'm basically saying, alright Fen, you're going to try and hit something, I'd rather you hit this guy, because IG102 is the tankiest of my ships.
Yeah.
As long as I've got calculates, there's the caveat there.
So Fen does a 3 hard, focus boosts to get range 1. Sunfac does his 3 hard, rotates the turret to the front, boosts so that he can drop it off and takes a focus. So I just have a quick run through with Sam about what the arcs are and stuff, because he's obviously flown Sunfac a lot more than me. And unfortunately, I don't have a range 1 shot in the bullseye. So I pass it off to IG 111 because I've got 3 shots into him. And, it's still a range 1 turret shot with an M9 reroll and focus. So, there is that. But I go with Fen first, who throws his 5 dice hammer into 102. I roll 3 hits. 3 hits, a focus and a blank. Do I?
I think it was 2 hits, 2 blanks and a focus.
2 hits, 2 blanks and a focus.
Because you fearless and focus.
Fearless and focus for 4.
And I roll evade. I think it was evade blank, and I used my ability to make it evade focus, and then I spent my calculate for 2 evades. So I just lose 2 shields.
Sunfac does the range 1 turret into a attracted opponent. 4 dice rolls, hit, crit, blank. Re-rolls the blank into a blank.
I roll a focus, so I spend 1 of Shaza's calculates for 1 evade, and I lose all my shields.
2 shields.
No, I lose 2 shields. 2 shields.
Shield upgrade. This is, I think, IG's range 1 back into Fen. Which you roll 3 hits.
Yep.
With Concordia.
After the target lock.
4 evades.
Easy peasy.
Jess has a range 2 shot into...
range 3 shots into my IG.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I have a second evade.
I end up with 3 hits.
I spend my calculate for 1 evade and take 2. So shield and a card on IG 111.
Then we go to Ben, who has a range 2 shot, and I roll 3 hits.
I roll a focus and spend another calculate for 1 evade, and I take 2 cards. I've got 2 health left.
I then rotate the turret with Page. I veteran tail into the same target. I spend the focus for 2 hits.
And I roll an evade and take 1.
And then live for the rest of the game on it.
Live for the rest of the game because he's a god.
But over to you.
Yeah, so I'll admit, I think on average, I think IG dies there, but I think it does take the entire salvo because I just had so many calculates.
Yeah, definitely.
But the fact that I was tracked and lived, I think, is a bit bullshit there.
Yeah, it was close. It was very close.
And then I believe this is this is ion cannon into Sunfac from either Lega or
it's from
Shazza.
Lega, I think.
Yes, because Shazza shoots at Ben.
And I take a damage and an ion from it.
Yeah. And I believe I think I opt to shoot at Ben because I just want to try and plink some. Because I've got the proton cannon coming, so I want to try and plink shields off for the proton cannon.
Yeah.
I end up with hit blank, and you roll an evade after a focus, I believe.
Yeah, spend the focus for an evade to take a shield. This must be into Sunfac.
This is the shell into Sunfac. I roll hit blank for the saddest energy shell in existence.
I roll 2 focuses, so I spend it to not take the damage.
Then DGS 047 rolls range 3 into Sunfac, and I get 2 hits.
I roll 3 blanks and an evade, so take another damage.
And I give you a strain and acquire a target lock because of my ability, and then I put the proton cannon into Ben, and I end up with hit crit.
And I roll a blank, so that's 2 shields and a crit, which is a direct hit.
I believe this game, Benteen pulls almost all of the direct hits.
I think he pulls 3, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then objective-wise, I have 3 to your 0, I believe.
Yes. Because I didn't have a huge amount of choice of where to go there, but I was very much hoping to delete a ship, so...
Yeah. And interestingly, I honestly think this comes down to the fact that Sunfac wasn't able to get past that rock, because if Sunfac could be able to barrel down towards IG-102 and give me a tractor, and Sunfac and Fen shoot him with 1 agility, then he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, if Sunfac and Fen are paired up, any ship on my side pretty much dies to their attacks. Either that or gets away on 1 and is plinkable by Ben.
Yeah. But hey-ho.
But yeah, so my plan now is IG-111 tries to get out of dodge and at least make it hard for you to kill him. And then I need to capitalize on the fact that Sunfac is tracted and try and punch damage into Benteen.
Yeah.
Essentially, my main target is Benteen, and if I have Sunfac, I have Sunfac.
So I miscall where you go here. But we go into the next turn, and I believe I'm first player. And
yes.
System phase, I Mando Optics a target lock onto Shazza from Fence.
Lega.
Lega, yeah, sorry, just in arc. Don't think I'll probably be shooting her anytime soon, but I was kind of I was hoping it might make you think I was going to too hard to clear the stress and go for a block on it.
To be honest, I thought you might do a too hard. Well, no, I was thinking, it's 2 bank or 2 hard, and then you locked Lega, and I was like, okay, so he's definitely coming this way. So my ones, DGS047 does a 1 straight and calculates. IG-111 does a 2 bank to the right, and then I calculate boost to the right, trying to clear the obstacle, and make it so that if Ben rolls forward, you're only shooting with your turret.
Yeah.
And that's survivable.
I opt to do Jess first, and she closes her wings, because what I assumed you were going to go for a block. And so Ben's just done a 1 straight, but I've dialed in a 4 straight with Jess, so that if you did block me, it goes over Ben, but probably bumps into the back of him. But what this has done is backfired slightly, because you didn't go for the block with the 1, and I'm first player.
Yeah.
So if Ben goes first, Jess bumps. So I close the wings, I focus into a barrel roll to get out of the way, and then I 1 straight and double focus with the bomber.
Yeah. So then my Y-Wings go, and Shaza just does a 1 straight, and I and R, but I do end up red focusing, just in case Sunfac's doing something odd. And Lega is going for a 5k, because I wanted to try and land behind Sunfac, but unfortunately Jess is there. So I just slam straight into Sunfac and take a stress. It's not the end of the world, because Jess is there and is shootable. DGS 286 does a 1 straight and calculates, and IG 102 does a 1 hard and calculates. 1 hard to the left and calculates, basically aiming up into the center. He has shots into either Jess or Bentine.
And then I make the idiot play of the game. Because Sunfac is Ioned. And I thought you'd put something in front of him to try and bump him so that you can get all your ships on him. So I opt to 1 bank. Admittedly, it takes me a little further round and closer to the rock than I thought. But it's put me right in front of a rock on 2 health. So that's 50-50 chance of me dying right there.
Yeah.
I've got no bullseye. Probably got a range 1 shot, but I've only got... What I should have done was just 1 straighted. If I bumped, I bumped, but I would have almost guaranteed to have a bullseye shot.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
We do take the focus, though, so you have odds of surviving the shots.
And then Fen does a 2 bank, which sticks in range 1 in front of DGS.
The gunship. Yes.
So I just stay there and focus.
Now, but you do test if your boost would have gone over.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to boost over and focus, because then I would have had the range 1 shot into Lega, who obviously has only 1 calculate. But I wasn't convinced it cleared. And obviously with the Fang, it's a boost into the focus. And then we test it afterwards. And annoyingly, it would have cleared, because I wouldn't have even minded so much taking the range 1 from DGS, because I would have been in your front arc, so I would have got Concordia. Yeah. Should have just gone for it. Because actually, think so. Even if it had failed, I'm still range 1 with 4 greens. Like,
yeah.
But hey. So Sunfac does his range 1 turret into Shaza, and I, after M9 and focus, get 3 hits.
I roll a blank, so there goes Shaza's shields. I then pass a focus token to DGS-047 using Shaza's ability. So now I have a focusing droid, the most elite unit in the world.
And then Fen range 1s into DGS-286. I roll crit, hit, focus, blank. So I could fearless and spend the focus here, but what I do is I predator the blank first, which goes to a hit, and then fearless the focus, so that I've still got the focus for defense.
Yep, I like it. Sneaky.
So 4 and a crit.
I roll a blank, so that's 3 shields and a crit, and I believe
3 shields damage and a crit.
Oh, 3 shields damage and a crit, and I believe the crit was fuel leak.
Yes.
So then it's my IG 102, and I just opt for the sync laser cannons into Bentine. Because I think I've got it at range 2. I roll hit, crit.
I roll an evade. I take another direct hit, and then a hull breach. So down to 4. Then it's my 3.
Jess.
Jess goes into the gunship. A, because I've done a load of damage, and B,
because you want your extra dice.
Because it's in the bullseye for my extra dice. I roll hit crit, and I opt to spend her charge, but it rolls into another blank.
And I roll 1 evade, so I take hit crit. It's a loose stabilizer. I've got 1 health.
So I go to Ben, who does a range 2 shot into the same target, I believe. Yeah. And I roll hit, and I don't spend because I don't need to.
Yep, I roll a blank and take 2 damage. And then you turret into IG.
Yeah, and I've got range 1, but it's focus blank. I spend a focus for 1.
I roll focus blank and spend my calculate for 1. So my IG is alive on 1, but my gunship is dead.
Yeah.
So I just take the revenge shot into Bentine because there's a lock on you, so I get a reroll. I roll focus blank, reroll the blank into a focus, and spend both my calculates for 2 hits.
I end up taking, I believe, a third direct hit. And end up with direct hits, disable power
I believe there was
regulator.
a damage sensor array.
No, disable
Or was
power
it disable
regulator
power
and a
regulator?
damage engine.
Ah, that's the one.
I didn't put them on the overlay because I assumed I was just going to die.
So then Lega shoots her iron cannon into Jess, and I roll hit. I roll focus blank blank blank, and I spend my calculate I kept from last turn on to make it a hit.
I roll 2 blanks, so I take the 1 damage.
And then Shaza fire. This is interesting because I think this is how this works. I choose to fire my ion cannon, and because of automated targeting priority, I can shoot into Jess because the ion cannon can't shoot at range 0.
Yeah.
I believe that's how that works because I'm pretty sure that's how that works with torpedoes, right?
Yeah, it's my assumption. It's you pick the if you read the card actually, I'm sure it says you pick the closest valid target.
Yes.
So
And so I shoot into Jess with my iron cannon. I end up with hit blank.
I spend a focus for 1 evade, so just take the damage.
And then DGS-047 shoots range 1 into Sunfac. I end up with 3 hits after a calculate.
I roll 1 evade, so Sunfac dies.
And it's 10-5 to me currently, and I believe you score 1 objective, making it 10-6.
Yes.
But Shaz has lost a shield. IG-101 is still low, but he's sort of in the clear.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Like,
I think the problem is that Benteen is 5 points, just sort of hanging there.
Yeah, that's the point. At this point, I think the game's gone.
Yeah.
Because I think you just initiative kill him with 102.
Yeah.
I don't really see a way to stop that. And then I'm down to 2 ships.
Yeah, I feel like the only way is that Fen jumps in behind 102 and just somehow kills him.
If Ben hadn't have taken the 2 direct hits,
yeah,
and then
this would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Then Fen would be guaranteed to at least shoot, even if he still might die during the shooting.
Yeah,
depending on where stuff ends up. But he'd get to shoot, and that's pretty important when you're double tapping.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, IG-111 just does a 2-bank to clear the stress up towards the outside objective that I placed. Planning ahead, that's what this is, and I take an evade. DGS-047 does a 1 straight, flips the stabilizers into open mode, and barrel rolls to the right, because I'm trying to cut in, basically get in behind where I think Fen might end up. Because if Fen, I was hoping that Fen was coming for DGS-047 and was doing like a 2 straight or something. And so I just get in the way. Lega does a 3 straight over the top of Jess, and I rotate the turret behind me and get a free calculate. And Shaza does a 2 hard to the right, landing just in front of Benteen, and I target lock, I believe, Jess, and get a free calculate.
Because I believe you thought she was ioned.
Yeah, I thought she was ironed for some reason, but I forgot that you'd spent the focus.
I was going to do a 1 bank.
Yeah.
Just 1 banks anyway. Purely because the bomb was doing a 1 bank, because I think a straight clips the rock.
Yeah, I think you'd be right there.
And I really needed them to not bump into each other this turn.
Yeah, so... I can understand that.
And also, it puts it in front of IG. Maybe I block him awkwardly.
Yep.
And I take
Which you pretty much do.
Yes, and you turn enough.
You do. I think you do. The problem is that Benteen also bumps into my Y-wing.
Yeah, or bumps where he does. He bumps, double focuses. Because actually, for that small gap, you turn a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
There. Just, it's the maths, but...
Yeah. So 102 does a 1 bank and bumps into Jess and takes a red calculate.
And then Fen, 1 heart.
Yeah, so this is what I was afraid of.
So I have options here, because I've already got a range 1 shot into IG. But I got to do 5 health, even with Fen's stuff, that's difficult.
So you know what I would have tried here? This is what I was terrified you would do.
Go into Shaza?
Focus boost to the left, or boost focus to the left. Because I reckon you'd land in between Jess and Shaza.
What does that...
And then you shoot Shaza, and if you don't kill her, Shaza has to shoot Fen.
Yeah, that's true. But
does Fen care?
No, I mean, I wasn't that worried about Shaza shooting Jess. I was at this point. I was doing everything I
Yeah.
can to try and keep Ben alive, or at least
Yeah.
to initiative 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
So what I do is I barrel roll behind because I'm reasonably confident that lines up the bullseye. So at least I've got 2 mods plus a focus. I roll crit, hit. I don't know. Fearless, and I end up with 3 hits and 2 crits.
I roll evade focus. I think I reach for calculate, and I spend Lager's calculate for double evade, and I take hit crit.
I believe one of them was a direct.
Yeah, one of them was a direct and damaged engine, so I end up on 1.
One blank.
Yeah. The thing is, though, 1 blank would have been a focus. You needed 2 blanks.
Yeah, that's true.
So then I sink laser cannons into Ben, and I end up with 3 hits out of hand.
I roll a blank. He takes many crits and dies.
And then I start plinking iron cannons into Jess.
Yeah. And Jess ends up on 3 health.
Yeah. I fire an iron cannon and you take a damage, and then I fire Shaz's primary and you block it all. And then Jess shoots range 0 into IG-102.
I get a crit, which you dodge.
I roll double focus, and I spend the calculate.
And so it's 17-6 at this point. And yeah. I was close to calling it there, I have to admit.
And I apparently just declined to shoot with my gunship.
Oh, yeah. Because I didn't see a way back at this point. You've got 4 ships.
But to be honest, I didn't see a way back for you either, I'll be brutally honest.
But I was like, hey, Fen does Fen stuff, and a lot of your ships are very damaged.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I could have done. In fact, there is very much one thing I could have and should have done here that I don't do with Jess. And we'll get to that when I...
Yeah. Because basically my plan is I'm on 17 points, sit on objectives.
Yeah, exactly. I need to kill ships so that you're not scoring objectives. Because two of your ships are on 1 health, and one of your ships is on 4. Like, Fen can delete any of those.
Yeah.
Right. So, your 1s have gone. I'm first player.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were just going to run through your 1s.
Yeah, because I was going to say, so IG 1-on-1 just did a 1 hard, and I calculate boosted, just trying to get as far away from Fen as possible. And DGS 047 just did a 1 straight and calculated. Because I thought I was basically, if Jess didn't do a red maneuver, I can try and block it, was my thought. That's all I had going for there. And I just want to sit on the objective, because I know that Shaza is doing a 3 bank, which I thought would clear me where I was.
Jess does a talon roll and ends up range 1 behind 047. I shouldn't have done that. What I should have done was 3 harded to the left and boosted.
Yes.
And tried to plink the 1 health off IG.
The 1 health, yeah.
Like, alright, it's unmodded 3 into 3, but...
Yeah, but that's the sort of thing you need to win.
There's no point doing range 1 into your full health gunship.
No.
Like, yeah. Great hindsight. It's what I should have done. I should have plinked off that one, and it would have given me a better run onto Lega, and
and you'd have had less shots incoming, because where you are, you take a bunch of shots, whereas where you would have gone, you'd have had an iron cannon shot into you.
Yeah,
at best. So basically, Lega does a 1 bank, and I target lock Fen and get a calculate. Shaza tries that 3 bank over DGS and runs into DGS, taking a damage. So Shaza's down to 3 health, which is not ideal. And then IG-102 does a 4 straight, and I calculate boost, trying to get, again, as far away from Fen as I can.
Fen, I believe... that's what we were at to put. Fen does a 2 hard, which bumps. But I just take
Shaza.
And I take the focus. I have a range 2 shot into 102. I roll hit crit.
All right, 102 finally dies. I roll blank focus, change the blank to a focus, spend both calculates for 2 evades, because, oh my god, do I love that ship.
I range 1 into Shaza, because she has no token, with Jess. I roll hit crit, focus. I spend her charge to re-roll one of the focus. No, I don't. I keep it for defense because I don't want to die. So I just leave it as hit crit.
I roll a blank. I take hit crit. I can't remember what the crit is, but it's not killing me.
Yeah, you're on 1.
So then Shaza shoots range. No, this is Lega shooting the iron cannon into Fen. I end up with 3 hits.
I take a damage in ions.
And then I roll range 1 into Jess, and I roll 3 hits.
I roll focus, so I spend a charge into an evade, so I take 2 and live on 1. Except I'm not.
And then my gunship shoots out the side into Jess, and I roll hit crit.
And I die. And that's game.
Yeah. Ended up being like 24-10 or something, but it was meaningless. I think once I'd gotten Sunfac and Ben off the board, and I hadn't lost more than one ship. Yes, IG-102 was and IG-101 on 1 health, but they weren't dead, which meant you had to then shoot them.
I think it was 1-1-1 not dying. Either in that initial salvo, or quite frankly to the range 1 turret. Yes, it was only a turret, but 2 bits of paint should be expected. So, but I can't complain too much because Fenral's shots were on fire.
Yeah, because it was interesting because whilst I was playing the game, I was like, oh, some of these are rolling hot. And then I was like, but then the rest of them, I've got target locks and calculates up the freaking wazoo.
Yeah.
And then in that final round, I just rolled fire, but it was sort of like
it was gone
beyond mattering at that point.
It was well gone.
Which was interesting. If this list were legal, I'd love it. But to me, this list was basically me saying, what if Separatists had 2 more gunships at 3 points? I think they'd have a really annoying list.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, the bomber. The problem with the bomber, it's not so much it dies, because in that respect, it's not really that different to an arc. But
no, it's really not.
You need the firepower to back it up. That's what makes the arc so strong. Is you've got the ion and you've got the 3 arcs that are almost always double modded, and you just don't have that in it because yes, Sunfac and Fenral can do it, but to the same extent, all you've got to do is misplay Sunfac slightly, and look, I think I would have had a better time, for me personally, if Sunfac had just been Luke. Boy Luke.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Or Wedge.
I like Boy Luke.
I'm just thinking, like if you just replaced your I6 with another I6, like if Wedge was there instead of Sunfac, it did the exact same thing Sunfac did, you'd probably be better off.
Yeah, I wonder which Wedge. Endor Wedge, or I'm going to ruin your life with 0 greens Wedge. Tough goal.
I mean, are they all the same points?
Yeah, both 5 points. Like
I don't know.
Endor Wedge gets his APT, and an extra shield, and it's a trap, and a better action bar, and is slightly suited to my playstyle of if an attack hits, get a focus, because then you can be aggressive.
Yeah.
But Wedge's standard Wedge is just great, losing a green on anything is great. Hey, look, here's Vader with 2 greens, or
I know,
or your defender with 2 green.
Yeah.
Here's your gunship with no greens.
Well, I guess actually then that Wedge is the Sunfac replacement because it's basically what Sunfac is doing.
Yeah, yes, you're likely only getting a single modded plasma, but still single modded, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what, and also for your regular shots, Jess puts the M9 roll on him, and then he just leaps in and says, "Cool, focus reroll, baby."
Yeah. Although there's a small part of me that wonders whether Jess and Ben just become the Endor B-Wings.
I mean, the fact that is a replacement you can do is probably a sad thing. I think that,
that's just better, right?
Yeah. I think unfortunately the fact that is a replacement you can do is sad for the bomber.
Yeah, but then I've got nothing.
Exactly. But the point of this is you're going to have some fun nonsense. So bring your fun nonsense. And to be honest, I think I think you should have stuck with your original plan of M9 re-rolling on the bomber rather than Sunfac.
No. I specifically asked you this during the week, and you said Sunfac.
And I am changing my mind because your bomber had 2 rounds of shooting where you just didn't have a lock on anyone because Jess, like it's M9, Sunfac died, right? And Jess couldn't retake the lock.
Yeah.
So I'm changing my mind. I think in that situation, actually, just lock the bomber because he's just more likely to be shooting at something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But like, I will say, like, absolutely, Sunfac wants a reroll, but in this case, your bomber's just more likely to be shooting at something.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Well, are you going to take this, Sam?
No, probably not. I'm not even sure if I want to do the day 2 event.
I mean, you're going to be hanging around waiting for me anyway, so...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm in Firestorm, baby.
I'm going to be playing on the final table, so like...
I got Shatterpoint shit to buy. I mean...
Fair enough.
Heck, I've also got a 40k thing to buy.
Oh, not 40k.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on Sam going down in my estimations, we're...
Yeah, can't be helped. But unfortunately, my friend who lives in Ireland, who I haven't seen in years, messaged me earlier saying, hey, do you want to do a doubles 40k tournament? I found one that's close to both of us. And I was like, yes.
Fair enough. To be fair, I can't judge. I've never played 40k, but, you know, we've all heard the rumours. But
if you've got the right people, it's fun. It's just as simple as that.
And that's fair. And to be fair, that's probably the same for any game, so...
Yeah.
Right, on that note, we really will wrap it up. So we'll see you guys next week when we let you know how we get on up in Wales.
Yeah, ta-ta from me. I'll tell you all about the 40k I bought.